I hope you can hear me now. I hope you can actually hear me now. Because I just finished a whole live stream only to realize there was no audio. I think this is the second time this has happened to me. How? Is it because I haven't slept much and I should have been sleeping? Could it be the beer I've been drinking? Or could it be something else? Why is this happening to me? I don't know. I don't care. It's party time! All right. So, we are here. We are here once again. Because again, my live stream had no audio. Hopefully you can hear me now. And we are going to go through the whole thing again, right? So what are we talking about today? I want to show you two of the toys I really like. Two of my toys, my work tools. I call them toys. I like them. So I'm going to show them to you and review them, right? And you know, this reminds me of when I was little, and maybe you had the same thing, where we always wanted to be on TV. And I remember way back, I was dating this girl who actually became a TV presenter. You actually may have seen her on TV. And she used to tell me the same thing, like she used to always, imagine she was on television. And now we live in a society where everybody is virtually on television. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting how our minds work and the things we produce. And that brings me to the next topic, which is AI, artificial intelligence. Because I don't think, as it stands today, artificial intelligence delivers on the promise, especially not for coding, not for development. I don't think it does. And I'll explain how. My argument is that if you are really good at coding and development, then it might be supplementary to you, might be interesting and might be fun to tinker with. If you have to use AI, you might not be as good a coder as you think you are. And you may hate me for this, and I hope you do, because then I'll become more popular on the internet. So please, your hate comments, bring them on. Of course, if they are too harsh or dangerous, I will delete them. Other than that, I give love to you. And of course, if you love me, I love that even more, because that will make it popular too. So either way, I win, you win, everybody wins, win, all the way around, and it's all good. But I think AI is overestimated and it's overhyped. And the companies are raking in the money from investments. And we'll get to that. But first, let me show you one of my favorite toys that I love to use for coding. And it's my keyboard. And this keyboard is the It's the Black Widow, Razer Black Widow Pro version 3. So if you've got a new one, which I think is version 4, maybe they have version 5 already, I don't know. But if you do, so what? I've got this one. So if you are a coder and a developer, or even a writer and looking for a good keyboard, this keyboard could be the one for you, because it is the one for me and many other people who love this keyboard. So I'm going to tell you the good things about this keyboard. I'm going to tell you the bad things about this keyboard, because there are some things that are bad about this keyboard, some things that I do not like about this keyboard. So this is going to be the first honest review you ever watched, because most reviews are nonsense. My reviews are good. They are the best. And it's live, on air, live. So what do I like about this keyboard? Let's start from there. So what I like about it is, even though it feels a bit heavy, it's solid, right? So when you're writing, when you're coding, it stays in place. It obeys your fingers and types exactly what you want to type. It makes a very nice sound. So if you like to annoy people in cafes and co-working spaces, which I love doing, what you do is you take this keyboard and type with it. And because it's a gaming keyboard, mine is quite dirty, I need to clean it up. But because it's a gaming keyboard, it can withstand a lot of pressure, and if you code a lot, write a lot, and then play a game, you're good with that. Obviously the lights are beautiful, and we all have lights. It has a software that comes with it that you can use for changing how these lights show, and there's settings. You can use the keyboard itself also to change some of the settings. There are different presets, which I don't remember how to do now. Let me try something here. I think it's this. No. Wait. How do you do this? There's a way to do this. I don't actually remember. Oh, wait. There's a way to do this. I can't remember. But you can change how these colors show up. I know there's the demo mode, which I think is tab, caps. Oh no, you have to connect to a computer. I think this is embarrassing me now, but you get the idea. So you can change these. You can change the preset for it. I just don't remember how to do it because I like this setup so much. Now, another thing I like about this keyboard is the media buttons, right? So previous, play, and forward, volume knob, and then the mute button. The mute button works, but the volume is one thing I hate about this, because when I got it first, it worked really well, then it stopped working. So I went on YouTube, and it turns out a lot of people have a problem with this volume knob, a lot. So one of the fixes was to blow a lot of air into this, and then it would fix that problem, because it wasn't working properly because of the dust. That's what they said. So I tried it, it worked, and then it stopped working again. So I tried that same fix this time, not so good. So what I'm thinking of doing is pouring isopropyl alcohol into this to see if it cleans up after it dries, but I don't know. But this is one really annoying thing, because when you're coding, you need to change the volume of your music, right? Otherwise you get too many bugs. So how can you change the volume of your music and avoid bugs if the volume knob is not working? You know, so that is one downside of this keyboard. So I'm going to upgrade to a new one, mostly because of this, because I want a new keyboard, and obviously I want the latest one. But yeah, this knob is annoying, especially when you get used to using it, because who wants to, you know, use the mouse to be changing volume and all that. So that is one downside, and you will hate about this keyboard. You need the wrist support, right? Because of how the keys are raised, your wrist might hurt. It might or might not if you don't use the wrist support, but it comes with it. It's a nice. Okay, I don't know what happened there. For a moment I disappeared. I can see myself. I can see myself. So I'm just going to assume that you can see me. I don't know what happened. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh yes, your wrist. Your wrist may hurt. So the foam is really nice. Mine looks quite old because I've had it for a while. So I'm not going to show it to you because it does look used a lot. But it's quite comfortable once you have the wrist support. It's perfect. If you have your preferred wrist support that you use, it's great. Or just use it flat, because I always love to lift it. So this keyboard connects via USB to your computer. You can charge it that way. I've also charged it using my regular phone charger, using the USB-C. So it charges that way. So that's when you want to use Bluetooth. So it has a switch, so you can use Bluetooth with it. And you can also use a dongle. So it has a little compartment, and then you have your dongle in here. You just put it in your USB port, and then you can use it that way too, if that's what you prefer. So it has that little compartment, so you never lose it. You just close it, boom, it's right there. And it has a cool logo as well. And also you can use it directly via a cable, right? So you can connect a cable to your computer and you're good. You can code and it works really well. So I love this keyboard, the Razer Black Widow Pro version 3. This one is, as I said again, I think there's a new one, maybe new 2, maybe this version 5. Maybe they fix the volume, no problem. Again, when you first buy it, you're not going to have that problem. After some time, it will happen, and lots of people have that problem. So that's a really negative thing about this keyboard. These lights, as you've noticed, they don't work the same as the others. So I've had it since the pandemic. So a couple of months ago, some of the colors in the lights on this row stopped working properly, and the same on these here as well. So that's a downside. So obviously after a few years it will start, doing this, but it's still great though. So it's just when you're very picky and very, nitpicky, to be fair, that you have issues. But for the main thing it's supposed to do, which is typing, it's great feel. Your fingers feel like you're connected to the code. Your code flows from your brain through your fingers into the keyboard, and through the keyboard is transmitted into the computer, and it works really well. So this is one of my favorite toys. If you're looking for a keyboard you can trust, consider this keyboard. It took me a while to find a good keyboard for coding that I could trust, and for writing, for creating content. So this is my choice. I've chosen this keyboard, or did the keyboard choose me? Think about that. So this is the toy I like. So I'm going to put that on the side. I'm going to show you another toy I like. So, why am I blurry again? I'm being blurry. Okay, good. So another toy I like is this set of headphones. If you're into music mixing, which I am as well, because I love making music, this is a great set of headphones. And if you like to listen to music while you are coding, this is a great set of headphones. It's called the Sony MDR7506. Very popular headphones. I believe every music studio in the world probably has this set of headphones, or almost every studio has. Every professional setting that you go to, you are very likely to come across this pair of headphones. Now, what's so cool about these headphones? First of all, they are quite light, but they give you a professional grade sound. You are not going to get the thick bass, and I'm a bass head, I love my bass, but I don't get that from this, as you would from, let's say, Beats, right? Dr. Dre Beats. But what you do get is a very nice flat-ish kind of sound, because it's a bit bright, right? So it's a bit, the tweeters is a bit high there. But when you're coding, you want to stay alert. You don't want to start daydreaming, which happens a lot to me. You want to stay alert. You want to be able to focus on what you're doing. So this allows you to focus whilst at the same time keeping you alert, because of how it sounds. That's why I love this pair of headphones. And of course, when I'm mixing music, if I'm doing some editing, video editing, this works very well for me as well. And just in general, to listen to music, if I want to hear how the music was actually made, more or less, right? Because it doesn't alter the sound so much, then this gives me that natural feeling. So I would highly recommend that you try this out. Again, don't expect the usual consumer grade kind of audio, because that's not what this gives you. It just gives you a more realistic reproduction of the music that initially you may find less pleasing, but for some reason, I don't know why it keeps cutting. I don't know what's going on. I guess it's just one of those things that happen with technology. So yes, so these are the headphones I like, the Sony MDR 7506 Professional. I don't know if you can see. Professional. Don't know if you can see. But nonetheless, that's my toy. And those are the two cool things I like. There's others I like. I love this microphone. I'm not going to talk about it today. But if you're wondering, just send me a question. I'll tell you. I love it. If you like the sound when my audio is on, right? Because I forgot in the last live stream. This mic is perfect. It's great for recording audio, for voiceovers, and so on and so forth. So I think I'm going to be doing more of these reviews because a lot of people are looking for tools and they are not sure what to choose. And you don't want to spend money and then find out you wasted your money. We don't want to do that. No, 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 no. So I will help you with these reviews to avoid that. So the topic I was raising earlier was the topic of AI and coding. And my contention is, if you are really to code so much that you eat code for breakfast, you sleep dreaming in code, and you live in the world of code, right? So all you do is code all day long, all night long. Then AI might just be the tool for you because you have the willingness to tinker with it. If you are already used to certain tools, certain setups for your coding work, your programming work, now people will argue with me and say that AI helps them, right, faster than those tools, those setups. I would argue back that those people in general don't have a good foundation in what they are doing, because I think fixing the problems that AI creates takes just as much time as just doing it by hand. And if you do it manually using your brain, you develop your skills further and you become more proficient at your work. And if you use AI as a crutch, you miss out on that and you lose that. We have already seen this problem with React.js, especially as a framework, because it became very popular. But a lot of people who gravitated towards it, and even to Vue.js, you might argue, don't really understand JavaScript. So they end up getting to a certain stage where they can't progress in their career and they don't understand why. And sometimes people can't put their finger on it. But part of the reason why we struggle is people treat coding like bricklaying, right? And again, this is just an analogy. But coding is not just putting components together. Most of your coding, if you're solving a new problem, it shouldn't even be done on a computer. It should be done with a piece of paper and a pen and your brain. Most of your coding work is your brain, and then you write and you draw diagrams, you draw your algorithms, and then you code, because you're solving the problem and then you're translating the solution into code. That's what you're doing. If all you're doing is putting components together, you're not really programming, you're not really coding. It is part of what we do, but it is not what we do. So, because people have that approach, they think AI is helping them code, but it's not, because they are just trying to put components together rather than understanding the problem and then create those components themselves. And the generative AI does not really understand your problem anyway that you're solving. So at best, it gives you a lot of great boilerplate, and on rare occasion it does some good work. But the way I think it's going is that a lot of new developers who don't want to learn how to program properly, they don't really want to study it properly, and I will even put myself in that category to a degree, that there are a lot of things that I need to learn, that it's only now that I'm deciding to learn because I finally accepted the deficiencies in my work, albeit I'm very good at what I do, but there are deficiencies and I want to improve, and they're all on foundational level. So for example, I'm spending more time now understanding assembly, because it's a fundamental way of thinking about code, and it helps me to manage, even if I'm writing something in a language that doesn't require a certain level of thinking, it automatically inserts that level of thinking, because it becomes a habit. So now I can write better code that is easier to maintain in the long term, especially if you're going to have a large code base for a product, right? And it's easier to fix problems that way. And that's when you bring your code into a level where it actually does become putting components together, because you've built those components. And that's the fun part, that's the easy part. So AI basically, and when I say AI, I mean generative AI, is an attempt to skip to the fun part and not do the hard part. And when people who do the vibe coding thing get frustrated, I'm baffled by their frustration. Like, why are you why are you surprised? Why are you surprised that it's not working? Of course it's not working, because it never worked in the first place. It's just a fantasy that people built up in their head, and they will point to occasional uses every now and then where it kind of worked to justify the billions of dollars that is being put into their thing. Now, I'm not saying it will never work, because there will definitely be good uses of generative AI in coding. I'm not saying there won't be or there aren't. I'm not saying amazing, wonderful innovation is not going to come out of it, because I'm sure it will. But I'm talking about today, what's happening today. So the people who are naive enough to think that they're not going to learn how to code, they're not going to learn how business works and marketing works, they're just going to go and tell AI, hey, build me the next Twitter, and then they're gonna be on sitting on billions of dollars on a yacht smoking cigars, and that's not gonna happen. But we have a whole generation that believes it, and especially from 2025, a lot of people are going to this delusion. So that means, in essence, it's actually going to be worse of a tool, because business works to serve where the money goes. So if everybody's turning their attention to something that does not work because they want it to work, money will be put there, but it cannot work. It's like people using AI for dating. Even if, first of all, it doesn't work, but even if it did work, the person you are trying to attract is still going to meet you. Are you gonna put, well, I'll put the ideas now in people's head. Are you gonna put, a headphone in an earphone or earpiece, and then the AI is gonna whisper to you everything you're gonna say 24 hours? Now that I've said it, I think some people are gonna do it. That would be a nice movie actually to make. Don't steal my idea, because I might actually write a story on this. I like this story. I like this story idea. So a guy falls in love with a girl, and then he uses AI to tell him what to say. That would be a cool idea. Don't steal it. Please do not steal my idea, okay? Let me try it first, and then you're gonna watch it. Or if somebody has already made that, then let me know. But I like this idea. But anyway, it's the same thing. My point is this. AI is a wonderful innovation. It's a very wonderful idea. It's still its infancy, but where it's gonna go, I don't think any of us can predict. At the moment, I don't like anything it does, because I don't think the technology is ready for general consumption. The difference between AI and other technologies is it's good to throw it out and see what sticks, what happens. And obviously it's out now. But the difference here is it can create an illusion of intelligence, because where there isn't intelligence. It creates an illusion of, some kind of relationship where you are connected with something where it's not happening. It's really not. And some of the uses are actually not what was intended, like people making fake videos, deep fakes and all that stuff. So that's interesting. But notice, most of the uses are actually entertaining rather than pragmatic or practical. So I don't see it. I just don't see it. I really don't see it. If you're a new coder, new programmer, you need to learn the basics, period. If you're experienced and you're deficient in some of the basics, you have to learn them. Don't say AI is going to substitute for that, because it's not. You need the skill to solve problems. And if AI is going to replace programmers, which it's not, but it will replace programmers who are not good at programming. So the people who are working with it now are basically teaching it, and the companies that use it, they're giving loads of data on how to get rid of those people. Because at the end of the day, I can bet you that most of the people are making the same requests, the same prompts. So all you need is to manually create boilerplate for those things. That's just my thoughts. Those are my ideas. Now, you may disagree. I don't know enough about it. Yes, I've tried it. Yes, I've looked at it. Yes, I love the technology from the technological standpoint. From the practical standpoint, I don't see its use. People say it's the future. Well, like I said, we have to eat today. We have to feed mouths today. We have to do things today, not in the future. Now, if you are, just starting out in your adult life and somebody else is paying your bills, then sure. And if you don't intend to really improve as a programmer and it provides you some use, I would say, yeah, go for it. But I would say the long term is actually hurting you. And the last analogy I want to use is, imagine having a machine that makes it easier to do push-ups. It defeats the purpose. So you become weaker if you use it, right? You're not going to become stronger. It's the same with AI. If you use it in that way to replace your thinking, it's a problem. And it's a nice toy. It's a cool toy to have, just like I like my toys, my keyboard, my headphones, my other gadgets. But it's not really, first of all, it's not going to replace coders, period. It's just not going to happen. That's never going to happen. And I don't think it's very useful. I think it's more entertaining and is a waste of time. That's what I think. Now, if you think I'm wrong, please let me know. And we'll talk about it. So my name is John Paul. This is my little platform here where I communicate my ideas with you. I share what I think. I listen to what you have to say. And yeah, it's just a fun time. I like to drink though. And it's affecting my fitness goals because I'm trying to lose some belly fat. And it's very difficult because I do enjoy my beer and my whiskey. I like to party, So I hope you enjoy partying with me. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, to sharing some of my ideas. I do hope you share your ideas with me, and where I'm wrong, please correct me. I'm going to think through these ideas. I'm going to develop them further and get a better understanding. So where I'm wrong, I can correct myself, even though I'm always right and I'm never wrong. So the correction would just be me being right again, which I was in the first place. And yeah, get yourself the keyboard like I have. Go and annoy some people in a co-working space or in a cafe that you like. Have some fun. Go write some code. And I hope you come again next week and we talk about other stuff that we enjoy. So thank you once again. This is John Paul, wpcover.com. Peace and I'm out. Woo! Yep.